Matthew Stafford's MVP buzz took a hit last night after he threw 2 interceptions for the second consecutive week. The award seems wide open now as nobody is separating from the pack. So, Shannon, if you had to award the NFL MVP right now, who's it going to?
You're exactly right, Jenny. Everybody's had one of those bad games. Lamar was right in smack dab in the middle of things, and then he has Miami. Tom Brady, we thought, was right there, and then guess what? He has Washington. Matthew Stafford put together back-to-back weeks in which he laid a stink bomb.
And then Kyler's just been out.
He's just been out. So, for me, Skip, I know I'm going to say Aaron Rodgers.
Really?
Aaron Rodgers. Skip, he's won 8 straight starts since that debacle that he had opening day. He's 17 touchdowns with 2 interceptions since that week 1 loss. And he has the most impressive win of all the guys that we're talking about. He went on the road, beat Arizona with their team without his top 3 weapons, and he found a way to win that ball game. If I'm not mistaken, it was a Thursday night. Was it Thursday night? I think it was a Thursday night ball game. So for me, look, it's close. I would say Rodgers, Brady, and Josh Allen. That would be my 3 right now. But you know what, Skip? With what, 7 more games, 8 games to play? This thing's going to come down to the last 2 weeks of the season.
It's possible it hasn't even started yet.
You're probably right, Skip.
And I get you. Everything we're talking about right now is by default. Okay, back to Aaron Rodgers. I thought you might go here. So Aaron Rodgers is now 17 touchdowns to 4 interceptions. It's pretty good. His QBR is 61, which is not bad. It's 6th in the league, but it's not first like he's usually just in his MVP year. He's just running away with QBR.
But everybody's QBR is low this year.
Okay. Well, everybody's had stinkers. Okay. It's hard to overcome a stinker because it just knocks you down. Here's the problem with Aaron Rodgers' MVP case. He's averaging 243 yards passing a game. That ranks 14th in the league. That's just a tick. That's 2 yards better, 2 overall yards better than Taylor Heineke. Ben Roethlisberger is averaging 248 yards per game passing. That's 5 more than Aaron Rodgers. So you have little to no respect for Ben Roethlisberger. You think he's pretty much washed up. Yet he's averaging more yards passing per game than Aaron Rodgers, but you're saying Aaron is the MVP.
Yeah, but Aaron is the #1 seed.
Okay, I got that. He did miss a game, and
he the one, you know, if Jordan Love did that, Aaron Rodgers would have beat Kansas City.
Okay, but how can you call him your MVP when you were so down on him for lying about his vaccination?
But that's 2 different things.
Well, does it not impact your ability to lead your football team?
Well, I think it's going to impact the voters. I know they're going to have...
I think he is disqualified.
I think the voters are going to have a lot to say.
Well, I'm surprised you haven't disqualified him from your MVP.
Yeah, Skip, you know what? I'd like to think that I've done a great job of separating how I might personally feel about someone based on and looking at what they do on the field.
Okay,
I think I've done a great job.
Lying about vaccination trickles into your ability to lead your football team. So they actually bleed into each other, right?
So then I guess you could make the case, well, he did lose a game because had he been vaccinated,
I would agree with that.
He might have could have made that game that Sunday.
All right, so still sitting there at #2 in QBR because Stafford's still leading, even despite the last 2 stinkers. He's still leading.
Remember we had the conversation, Skip. He was so far ahead of #2.
Yep. Okay, Brady is still 2nd. Brady is still graded #1 overall by Pro Football Focus. He's still leading the league in passing yards per game, and he's leading the league in touchdown passes at 27. I still got him barely. He's creeping backward because they have lost 2 straight games, and he stunk it up at the end of the game at New Orleans, and he stunk it up early at Washington.
And the thing is, Skip, he has 7 picks now.
He does.
And he has 2 fumbles. So he has 9 turnovers where Tom is normally very, very careful with the football.
Yep. Well, let's see how careful he gets from here on, starting with next Monday night against the Giants.
What we thought, because last year this time, Skip, it was a 3-man race. It was Rodgers, it was Mahomes, it was Russell Wilson. And then the last 5 weeks, it was Mahomes and Rodgers. Now, everybody's... Derrick Henry, had Derrick Henry been healthy, Derrick Henry would be leading. Because he would be 1,200 yards right now.
Yep. I even tried to make a case for Dak because he had the 1 stinker that was his worst game of his career. But his numbers overall are not that great. So I can't even fight for him.
Because they've been running, they've had such success running the football.
Yep.
Guys, moving on here. Is Kevin Durant ready to make a statement tonight against his former
Steph, baby.
That is. Didn't sugarcoat Tom Brady's lackluster performance during Tampa's loss to Washington on Sunday. And after the game, the Bucs head coach said the 44-year-old's 2 picks had nothing to do with receivers. Arians often criticized Brady after losses last season, and it seemed to work as, of course, they made a Super Bowl run. But, Shannon, was this criticism inbounds or out of bounds in your eyes?
This is par for the course. I believe this is Bruce Arians' way of getting his team's attention. Bobby Mitchell used to tell the story how Paul Brown would get on him for something Jim Brown did. He's like, I wasn't even in the game. Why are you yelling at me? That's the opposite.
Yeah,
exactly. But see, the thing is, Skip, is that if I get on Tom, I'll get everybody else's attention. Skip, we've seen him do it. He did it both games against New Orleans. Remember last year, both games against New Orleans. Mm-hmm. He did it against Chicago. He did it against the Rams. So this is par for the course. And so basically, if he gets on Tom, it's going to get everybody else's attention. Remember how Coach Belichick did. Coach Belichick felt that if he corrected Tom Brady in front of everybody else, Skip, everybody else in the corner shaking. That's Tom Brady.
Yep.
I know in New England, you and I debate whether or not to go, but ain't no question in New England they think he's the GOAT. So if Coach Belichick is yelling at Tom Brady, what the hell are you doing here? He calls him Brady. And Coach B calls him Brady. Brady, what the hell are you doing? I can get somebody from high school to do that. Run it back. So what do you think the rest of the guys are doing? I hope he missed my play. So I believe this is what BA is doing. Skip, look, we've never seen this. I played 14 years. I've been around for a coach to call out a player. Not just a quarterback, Skip. Quarterbacks was always taboo. But even I can't imagine. Can you imagine Sean McVay calling out Aaron Donald? No, I can't either. But for a quarterback,
publicly calling him out.
Yeah, you might call him in.
You know what? It's bad enough to even call him out in front of the team, but we're talking about to the media.
Yes. Okay. Yes. So I believe this is BA. BA is like, you know what? It worked last year. I called him out a couple of times. It got their attention. We went on a roll. Let's see if we'll work it again. I think now, Skip, they probably got to, hey, Tom, this is what I want. Hey, Tom, this is what I need to do. I'm going to call you out. Because the only thing I can think of is that first interception, he was like, why the hell you throwing to him anyway? He's just out there because we don't have enough people to put out on the field. Throw the ball to Chris Godwin, throw it to Mike Evans, or throw the ball out of bounds. But don't throw it to him.
That would be Jalen Darden, who's a rookie 4th-round pick out of North Texas.
That's the only thing I can think of because he said that was Brady's fault. Brady hit the guy in the chest, and he threw it up in there.
As I told you yesterday, if we could see that first interception, it's a fumble. He catches it and runs with it, and it gets knocked up in the air. And to Arians' credit, he backtracked a little bit yesterday on that one.
Right.
Because he thought it was a fumble, too. Because I'm like, how is that an interception?
Right.
He hits him right in the hands. He turns to run and gets stripped. That's an interception? That's Tom's fault? I don't think so. Did he make a football? I thought he made a football move. Whatever. It didn't matter on the turnover because there's going to be a turnover one way or the other.
Well, I think, Skip, I'm not so sure. I think if it had hit the dirt, they'd have said incomplete.
If it hit the dirt, but he caught it in the air.
Right, so that's why they gave it an interception.
I got it. Okay. My first point to you is that Bruce Arians is not Bill Belichick.
But don't you tell him that, though.
Okay, that is true. I find this so offensive that it gets to be repulsive to me because even though he got away with it last year, 4 or 5 different times, got away with it, and I was appalled by it then, Brady carried Arians to a Super Bowl in his first go-round in Tampa Bay for a franchise once known as the Succaneers, a team that Bruce had coached to 7-9 the year before with obviously Jameis at the controls.
Right.
Jameis was high turnover. It's no risk it, no biscuit, because that's what happens in that offense.
Right.
So Tom comes in there on the fly, pandemic, no preseason, and it took them all the way to their bye week to start to figure it out. And I was told that Tom just basically took it all over in the bye week and said, no, sorry, Bruce. We are going to run some screen passes, and we are going to use some motion so I can actually identify whether it's man or zone. I know you don't like it, but I got to have it. And I'm going to audible more down the stretch, and you know and I know what happened. A Super Bowl happened. Okay, so one of two things is going on here. Number one, it's completely premeditated, as you suggest off last year, where he's just saying, I'm Belichick, and I'm going to call him out so that I can call everybody out and get everybody's attention. That could be. He could have had a private conversation once again with Brady. Hey, just hang with it. You know, just be cool with it. It'll be okay.
Ride this one out with me.
Ride this one out. Or number two, he is just that